we're live.
All right.
Yeah, welcome everyone to another episode in our artist interview series. Thank you, Rat, for making the time today to join us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being on.
Yeah, I stumbled upon your art and instantly just wanted to learn more about it. Have you always done stuff in this kind of style?
Uh, no, I think I change and shift what I do every couple months just out of I don't know why. So if you go through, you scroll deep enough, you'll find stuff that looks extremely different than what I've posted recently. It's just kind of all over the place, honestly.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is done in something like Illustrator, Photoshop.
Everything I do is with Blender and Photoshop.
Oh, gotcha. So these are actual like 3D models that you make.
Yeah, yeah. It's everything is done first in Blender, and then take it into Photoshop, and I basically beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're like reminds me of like deep fried memes, kind of.
Yeah, super grainy, distorted. Quality's not that great. I just destroy it in Photoshop.
Oh, it comes out great though.
It does. It works. It works in the end. It took me a long time to figure out how to make something low quality, but also look good, you know?
I'd say you've mastered it. I mean, like this stuff just has like just right the amount of like fuzziness to it.
Yeah.
It's like this is stuff that
Took a
I'd
while
see
to
on
figure that out.
Sorry, go ahead.
It took a while to figure that out because so sometimes you add too much grain and then you can't even tell what's going on. You know, so it took a while to figure out how much grain is appropriate.
Yeah, no, I see. I definitely see that. And no, the stuff just like reminds me of the kind of shirts that you'd see at a merch stand at like a death metal concert or something.
That is a huge inspiration of a lot of it is like early 2000s band stuff, you know?
Oh yeah?
Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, that kind of stuff.
Oh, right on, right on. Yeah, no, definitely comes through. Like there's some like pieces that you do that are more like pop culture elements like Evangelion or what's the other anime I'm thinking of? Berserk.
Yep.
Yeah, this is wicked. So how did you actually start like doing this kind of stuff? Was it just, like self-taught or you picked up a class in school or
For the 3D stuff, I'm all self-taught. Just YouTube tutorials and Reddit threads. You know, just staring at forums for hours, middle of the night, trying to figure shit out. Um, I my background is in video editing. Very long time ago, I used to edit COD videos, like Call of Duty montages,
Oh hell yeah.
and that's kind of where I got the whole idea of being a content creator, making art, putting it online, and just slowly over time, I think at one point before I ever touched 3D, I got honestly sick of what I was making because I saw people doing 3D stuff. I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that. My art would be so much better. So then one day I just sat down, downloaded Blender, and just started learning it.
Right on. Okay, so yeah, basically fully self-taught.
Yep.
That's funny you mentioned the COD thing because another artist that we interviewed had a similar start. His name is Kirza, more of like digital design, aesthetic kind of work. But he mentioned the same thing, how like growing up, that was just the thing to do if you wanted to be
Yep.
creative and make trick shot compilations, and then he became an artist. That's interesting.
If you dig around, a lot of popular artists will have a background in Call of Duty. It's very funny when I run into someone and I knew them under a different alias as a Call of Duty editor.
Oh no way! So this is like an actual like trend in the industry. This is how a lot of people got their start.
In my weird niche circle of art, yeah, a lot of the people I know once upon a time were a Call of Duty editor.
That's awesome. Did you just make stuff for yourself or like for like a big channel?
I made stuff for myself, and even at that point, it was just weird, dark shit. It was obscure. It wasn't like your typical Call of Duty montages. It was more obscure and artsy. If you scroll on my Twitter far enough, I don't know when I posted a video of it. It was like 10 years ago. I used to edit COD. I don't know where it would be at this point, but I did post one of my edits.
Oh, I'm gonna hunt it down for sure. Cause dude, those things are a piece of internet history. There will never,
They
ever,
are.
ever be a genre that like can ever even just come close to what that like. That was a timepiece.
It was a very different time, and sometimes I miss it. There it is, right there.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, so this is what I was doing at like 15.
I'm fucking a bitch, now she loving the clip. Let's get it, gang, let's turn up in this bitch. I'm trippy as fuck and you loving this shit. Fucking these bodies all up in my body.
Yikes.
What do you mean, yikes? That's so cool.
That's a hard watch for me. I don't know why.
Dude, that was rad. What the hell? Holy shit. That was cool, man. That's a sick comp.
I appreciate it. So that's what I
Yeah.
was. That's how I got started in this. Is I was making those kind of things, and that's how I learned of. Oh, I can just make stuff and put it online. People, if they like it, they'll engage with it.
Yeah, that's wicked, man. Those take a lot of work. That's not a joke. Like you gotta position the camera at every single like angle, make sure that the playtime is correct. You gotta sync the audio for it. Like that's not nothing, man.
Yeah, that little clip probably took me probably a week.
Yeah, of course. Like obviously, it's only 30 seconds long, but that's so much footage that you gotta go through. Because
Oh,
first,
don't
like,
even remind me, man.
first you actually gotta get the kills. Like that's the
Yeah.
that's the important thing.
Oh, those were all fake.
Oh, they were all set up like positioned.
Yeah, yeah. Everything in which you saw was fake. In the Call of Duty 4 community, there was a I forget what they're called now, but there was like preset kills that you could just load into Call of Duty and it would play it like a fake theater mode.
Oh,
So people were just sending those around, sharing them, trading them, and that's what all that was.
interesting. I just assumed everything was live footage. I didn't realize you could set it up like that.
Call of Duty 4 on the PC? No, I mean, I would make them myself. I would open up 4 versions of COD 4, set up some bots in a corner, and just fake it.
You had 4 versions of COD running at the same, like what? You just split the monitors?
Yeah, I would have 4 tiny windows of COD 4. You'd load up bots in 3 of them. You'd play in one, and you'd play it in like 0.25 speed with an aimbot on, and you'd just get for those perfect exact movements and those precise animations that look good. And you just spend an hour just killing bots until you hit the right clip.
Okay, that actually makes it more impressive than doing it live, because that's like you're what you're doing is you're essentially just doing the infinite monkeys on a typewriter until
Yes,
until you get a nugget. Wow, holy shit, dude.
that's what it was. And for that specific genre of Call of Duty 4 edits, that's what everyone was doing for the most part.
Interesting. I never knew about this. Yeah, I just assumed everything was live footage. Damn. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's one way to do it.
It was the easiest way to do it. It was a way to guarantee it.
I mean, yeah, that's true. The moment they have a line of sight, they're just gonna take the shot. So yeah, no, that's perfect. Wow. Okay, learning a lot today. No, that's wicked, man. Because that is a lot of work. Like you got to get the color grading, the filtering, everything. Like changing the perspective. That's not nothing.
Yeah, I was using my mom's laptop with a cracked version of Sony Vegas 4 and a cracked version of COD 4. And that's how it all started, really, I think.
Of course, yeah. The classic cracked games and software. Shit, that's what I used to use for most of like my games. I don't even remember buying all that many games growing up, or even programs too. Like that stuff's expensive, man.
Oh, yeah, I stole everything until I was like 19 or 20.
Oh no, easily, easily. It's like it's one of the greatest things about like having a computer in a digital age. Just the access that you have to all this free stuff.
Yeah, if you use a little bit of thinking and digging, find some safe websites, you can download pretty much any software you want.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, man,
I
that's
pay
cool.
for Photoshop but I still think I have a cracked version of Photoshop on my computer from back in the day.
Oh yeah, like a 2008 or something.
Yeah, just an old version sitting there.
Oh man, yeah, those are the days. I mean, there's still plenty of that going on, but back when like just growing up, having that access to your at your fingertips at any moment, as long as your internet wasn't crap.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, so then you moved on to doing stuff like this, a little bit more intense in well, not a little bit, but like that's an extreme amount of detail in just the pants alone. Wow.
Yeah, I every time I make something, I always think to myself, why didn't I screen record this? Because I've had a couple people ask me about it and say they like watching them, and I think it's always interesting to see what how people make something and how it's put together. You know?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, this is like this is the equivalent of the tutorials that you were doing, except now you know it's actually showing it instead of just some explanation with words for anyone that wants to learn how to do it themselves.
Yeah, I mean, like it doesn't, it's like 10 times speed, but it show you get the idea. You can see the thought process behind what's happening, see it all come together.
Yeah. And so, how long does it usually take you to do a piece? I mean, I imagine everyone's different, but
Um, I would say on average right now, from the time I sit down to my computer to the time it's done, it's probably like 2 or 3 hours.
really, all of this?
This was one sit down, yeah. This is one set, like me sitting down.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it was so detailed. I would have figured that like most of the stuff was pre-made assets with all the textures and everything correctly, but
Well, I mean,
yeah.
at this point, um, yeah, I've been doing it for a while, so I've got all these assets saved and textures ready to go. What I just like copy and pasting from old files.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha.
So this wasn't like from zero. This was I had stuff already that I could just paste in and have it ready to go.
Where do you usually source your assets from? Do you make them like your own? Do you just get like stuff that's free or?
Um, it's a huge mixture. If I can make it, I will. But I am not opposed to just buying a model. I see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, because I do see artists every now and then, like they'll sell textures, and they'll sell assets, but I didn't realize it was like that big of an economy.
I mean, it is huge because I don't have the mental capacity to make certain things, and other people do. So I'll pay 25. Like that revolver, I didn't make that. I probably paid $15 for that, and I'm happy to support an artist. They worked hard for that. I'll buy it off them.
Yeah, and now you can just use it as many times as you want. Like it's a fairly reliable piece to use, considering like your themes. You know, it'll pop up every now and then.
I've used it many times since I bought it.
Yeah, that's wicked. Okay. Have you ever thought of ever like 3D printing these?
The thought has crossed my mind, but I don't think like consumer level 3D printers are there just yet. Like if you spend like 3 grand, yeah, you'll get a good printer, but I'm not spending 3 grand on a printer.
Yeah, that's fair. I I have one sitting on my desk right now that I've used every now and then. Bought it for like $150 or something. And you know, it's not great. It's just a starter one. But I've seen like decent ones go for like around like 1,000. I think from Reality, but I could be wrong. And it's like fully enclosure, and you can have like two or even up to four different colored spools going at once.
Hmm. I looked into 3D printing for a while and tried it out. Guess I haven't looked at it in a couple years. Maybe I should.
Yeah, it seems to have gotten a lot cheaper, and there's like a huge selection of filaments now. But yeah, no, I only mentioned it because like you already have the 3D models, so like the next thing that you could do with them, be like something 3D, like a little stand on a desk or something. Because especially the stuff that's relating to an anime, I mean that might run into copyright issues there, but um, it would make for like great physical things.
I've always wanted to make some sort of physical product like that, like something you could hold in your hand, put on your desk, you know.
Yeah, and I like the
For a very brief period, I was talking to people in China, like manufacturers,
mhm.
to try to find a way to get an original character of mine printed, and turns out it's very expensive.
And just like plastic or like actual like metal.
It was, I don't even remember. It was like it would like be a little plastic figure, but you know, it'd be highly detailed, multiple colors, like painted.
Yeah, I'm guessing they were asking for like a minimum order of like 1,000 or something.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. As soon as I heard that, I was like, all right, see you later.
Hmm. Yeah, they're really good at like printing millions of one thing.
I just want one of one thing, you know.
Well, China's not the place.
I know I should just find someone locally here because I know a couple people who could do it. I should just do it.
Yeah, no, these would be really cool. Even as like maybe not as like entire physical objects, but even as like a rendered, I don't know, some kind of flat card or something with the depth impressions and whatnot.
I should look into it.
Yeah, and I saw you had some Yu-Gi-Oh cards up here. I'm guessing that's also been an inspiration for you.
Oh yeah, I loved it as a kid, and currently right now I play it all the time.
Oh, still to this day?
To this day, I play it
Oh, wicked.
very regularly.
You do tournaments or like you just go to like a card shop?
Both, you know, whatever's around, I'll join and play.
Oh, right on. Okay. We got a seasoned pro over here. I never made it past like, I don't know, age 12 like playing it, but no, that was the shit. I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! The card designs, the holos, everything.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it as a kid, played it as a kid, and then I picked it up about a year and a half ago. I don't know how or why, but now I play it all the damn time.
Do you find there's still like a decent like strong scene for it, or is it just like a small club with a few people?
Uh, Numbers wise, it's the biggest it's ever been, so it's pretty easy to find and play.
Damn, I didn't realize
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh made a comeback.
there's only 3 big card games in North America. That's Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm. Yeah, no, that sounds about right. Although I've never seen anyone actually play Pokemon as the game. I've always just seen it from the collector's perspective.
Pokemon is a huge game, and it's always Pokemon's the one card game that has a huge like age variety. You know,
Hmm.
like you'll have little kids and adults playing it. That's cool to see.
Right on, right on. Learning so much today. Um, yeah, because for Yu-Gi-Oh growing up, like that was like the staple. That was just like something that you did after school. It was just like a regular every single day thing. You'd hear stories about like kids getting their cards stolen at school.
100%. That was part of my childhood. You watch a show, you'd throw some cardboard at each other at recess.
That's weird. What do you think is the most expensive card that you hold?
Right now, it's a very shiny Blue Eyes, probably about 300 Canadian.
Whoa, like a holographic Blue Eyes is worth 300? Damn.
Yeah, it just, you know, didn't get printed that much. Highly, you know, sought after. It's Blue Eyes. The most expensive one I own is probably about $300.
Hmm. You never managed to collect all of the Exodia?
No, I'm not much of a collector. When I get cards that are worth a lot of money, I sell them pretty quickly.
Oh, okay. So you do the whole booster pack thing and everything.
Yeah, you know, because I prefer to play instead of collect. So I'll pull an expensive card, sell it immediately, and buy the things I want.
Interesting. Yeah, because as I was looking through the characters that you have here, I was like, man, this is like card game material almost.
A lot of the little character guy fella things are heavily inspired by Digimon, actually.
Oh yeah, Digimon. Totally forgot about it.
One day I opened up my Pinterest and my entire Pinterest feed. A side note: Pinterest is the best website ever for inspiration. Um, I opened my Pinterest one day, and for some reason, all it was Digimon. I don't know why. And for like a month straight, I just made little characters based off Digimon.
Wow, they really tapped into something there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't hear about it much growing up. Like, yeah, there was a show, there was like a card game, but it was like it was always seen as the off-brand Pokemon.
That's exactly what it was. Like I watched it as a kid, but I never really got into it. But then I saw what modern Digimon looks like, and they have the craziest designs ever. Like a gun with pants or something, you know? Like it's just nuts.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've heard. They have like absolutely unhinged designs.
Everything about it is unhinged. It's crazy. And I kind of love it for that.
What that's a trash can with like a is that like a bazooka or something? I can't even tell what that is.
Bazooka with like a banana on his head, maybe, or
Oh yeah, this Jesus, this one's unhinged.
it's crazy, man. And I think I honestly prefer the evolutions in this over Pokemon because gets interesting quick.
Yeah, because once I learned that like a lot of Pokemon is like just designed after like animals and they just reverse the names to make them, I was like, oh, that seems kind of lazy. But they're making like variants of stuff that has already existed. It doesn't seem as they don't stand out from one another like as strongly as Digimon do.
No, yeah, it's a lizard that turns into a bigger lizard. But Digimon, look at that. What is that? How did that? Why? You know?
Yeah, that looks like an Evangelion angel.
It does. And then there's two actual human angels there in a children's cartoon.
Interesting. But yeah, like, just like if I'm just on the idea of like spitballing here, but card game even like for you that would be an interesting thing, or just like a collection of cards.
That thought also did cross my mind, and I got very close to doing that one day. But I was really struggling to find quality print. You know, like I didn't want it. I wanted it to feel good, have a good shine to it. And I was really struggling to find some place that I was like actually really happy with. Because you had to pay money for samples, and then I'd have to get them packaged. And at the time, I didn't have the time or money to like dig around for something like that. But it would be cool at one point to make like collectible cards of just my artworks.
Yeah, who do you even get in touch with about that? What does that process look like?
What I did was I just looked up trading card printing services Canada. There's loads of them. Because like they'll do playing cards and stuff, but there's some that'll specifically do like trading cards, and that's where I was getting in touch with and trying to go through them. But again, very expensive. I don't have the money for that. Just source out a bunch of samples, you know.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Because I've seen like I know police sometimes give them out. Like they have trading cards with, like their dogs or whatever. There's besides the hockey cards, there's just like some businesses that just like give them out or like have a collection. So there's got to be a way that like yeah the average person can do that. I wonder if I wonder why it would cost so much.
Maybe I was looking at commercial places because I never even thought of just like, because yeah, there is small businesses that just have a couple of them, you know. Maybe I was looking at all the commercial places. Maybe I was doing it wrong the entire time.
Yeah, still a cool idea though. Because your vibe would definitely mesh with that. And what was it that like kind of got you into this in the first place? Like making the leap from like Call of Duty to like characters like this. Is it just the media that you grew up on, the stuff that you used to play with that, just came naturally? You're like, oh, I want to make some more of this stuff.
I think it was a good mix of that and what I was before I joined, I was trying to figure out where this all went back to. And when I was in college, I had to pay for an Adobe subscription, the whole suite, but I just needed Premiere.
Oh,
And
damn.
one day I was sitting down and I was like, I have Illustrator and Photoshop. Maybe I should, start figuring this stuff out because it could be cool to learn. So I just started making random doodles and illustrations in Illustrator and Photoshop. And I made a couple things that, for no reason, kind of got really popular on the internet. And then that's where I got really deep into 2D stuff and graphic design and photo work. And then, like I said before, I hit a point where I was just like, I need to learn 3D. This 2D stuff's not doing it for me anymore.
Okay, and when you say popular, do you mean like one of these like franchises like actually saw these pieces? Does that happen at any point?
That I don't know, but the very first thing I remember getting really popular for some unknown reason is one of the first things I ever did in Illustrator was I did a drawing of Trippie Redd, the rapper.
Oh yeah.
No idea why I did it. I did it, turned out all right, and then within a week, it was everywhere. Like in my circle, like it was all over Pinterest. People were using it for like YouTube thumbnails. I saw it all over Twitter, and it was so weird. But that's
Damn,
kind
that's
of,
cool.
I think that was like the point where I was like, okay, there is something here. If you make something and people like it, they'll find it.
Yeah, eventually you just I don't know, just catch the eye of someone that has enough followers, they repost it, and then next thing you know, you just kind of see it on the algorithm. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I think that's how I got my start. Is just I would post, and it just kind of would snowball until I gained some followers.
And so when you were grinding on social media, that was like what around what 2015, 16, something like that.
Yeah, that's where it would be like early start, and then like 2020 until like a year and a half ago, it was like all I was doing was making art on social media all the time, posting as much as I could, trying to do engagement, the whole thing.
What is it that drove you to do that? Because I know you mentioned that you've kind of stepped away from it.
Uh, I think it was rewarding, making a piece of art, posting it, and then seeing a bunch of little numbers, notifications pop up, and inside you're like, yeah, people do like it. Maybe I am good. I think that was the driving factor, was just some weird form of validation. Like, you know what, my stuff is good.
Yeah, no, that's
Because
fair.
I hate 99% of the things I've ever made, so it's some weird thing deep down. I think that's what it all was.
Yeah, it's kind of a constant theme with creatives, regardless of what medium. Like you have this form of self-expression, but because you know the work that went into it and like its potential, it's never the same as like from the perspective of the audience. Like I'll look at this and be like, man, this is cool. I don't know how to do shit. Like it's incredible. Um, whether it's the COD piece that we saw, or just the models that you've made, like yeah, this stuff's awesome. But I totally get why you'd have that perspective of I don't know, needing that external validation for that.
Yeah, because I think as an artist, you should be your own worst critic, otherwise you'll never grow. So I think that's why it kind of drove me to try to get bigger on social media, is because every time I made something, I just hated it, but I saw that other people liked it, so I kind of chased that.
And you never did you ever like monetize that by making commissions or anything like that?
Yeah, for the few years I sold T-shirts, and I was primarily making all my income off freelance, like working with musicians and clothing brands. And that's what I was spending most of my day doing, was just random commissions.
Oh, right on. Okay. That's pretty cool. So you made like you were able to live on that, like pay rent, have like money for food, all that, like didn't have any other 9 to 5s that you were in?
No, yeah, I was freelance solo, and it wasn't great because it was incredibly unstable,
Mm-hmm.
because there was nothing to guarantee that more people would come back. So yeah, it was really unstable, but I was able to live, not super comfortably, but I was able to make it work.
Gotcha. Did you ever set your foot into the NFT market or like the digital space in any way?
I did, yeah. I don't fully like think the NFTs are. I think they got overblown, but I did get involved a little bit. Didn't fully work out, so I just kind of stepped back, like, you know what, this one's not for me.
Yeah, it was certainly a volatile market for sure, especially when it kind of blew up during COVID, when more people were indoors and they just didn't know what else to do with themselves.
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw it happen too. As soon as COVID hit, all the pictures of the monkeys got really expensive.
Yeah, from what I've heard, those or at least what crypto people have told me, those NFTs are kind of like an entrance or like a pass to a digital country club, basically. So if you can afford one of these, you get like access to exclusive events, depending on the organization that's running it. There's always like the chance to flip it, sure. I don't think nearly as much now, but I guess it depends on the club. But there's like a handful of them that are like infamous for like the hosting like international like raves and all this other stuff.
Yeah, right after I stopped paying attention to it, I was seeing that stuff pop up where there was parties and events, and you can only come in if you had this, and you had to like verify it in your crypto wallet. And I was like, all right, guys, I'm okay right now. Actually, I'm gonna leave this one to you.
Oh, you're not a fan of the dynamic?
I think if it was done in a different way, but the way it all exploded and became greasy and slimy just immediately just didn't sit right with me.
Yeah, that's fair. No, that's certainly enough to make anyone apprehensive because for one, it's like the inflated value of these things costing hundreds of thousands of money that could be lost if you just like forget the password or you lose the thumb drive or what have you.
Yep.
And it's this highly volatile asset. You can't exactly get a dedicated return on investment because there is something backing it, but it's ephemeral. It's like a possibility that makes it hard to track down.
It is weird, but I can understand why people are into it.
Yeah. Most of the artists that I've interviewed that work in the digital space, they drop NFTs here and there, and there are like digital galleries. One person we interviewed, she goes by the name of Baku. She manages a gallery in in Montreal, where they feature digital artists every week. They got these like screens that they set up to rotate. They help them sell their work to people that are collectors, but yeah, from everything that I've heard, the space has kind of died down since the big boom.
See, that's the stuff I really liked about it. But it was the stuff that was, people pumping, dumping randomly generated pictures of a squirrel and then just ripping people off. That's where, it starts to get a little sketchy.
Oh yeah. Like platforms like Pump.fun, they're notorious for that.
Yep.
Like there's a coin that'll pop up every single let's see, last trade. Yeah, like every second. Not even.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's somehow the Wild West, but also still the worst thing possible once you delve deep into it.
Yeah, Pump.fun got crazy for a minute when they were doing. Oh, they are still doing the live streams. Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, because there's like people. This is one guy that was holding his fish, no, holding a gun up to his fish, saying that if the coin doesn't reach this cap, I'm gonna gonna flush it. and all this other
I
stuff.
did see that.
Yeah, the funniest one was there was this kid that did a pump and dump. He must have been like 16 or something. And he was live streaming it, and the moment that he sold all of his coin when he thought it was a peak, the internet heard about it and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna screw him over even more. Now we're actually gonna pump it for real," and they got it way higher than he ever managed it to. Just as like a big fuck you to him.
That's funny. That's a good bit.
Yeah, because like screw that guy, man. Like that's unbelievable. When I learned about this stuff, I didn't realize just how in depth it was. Because like there's people that have entire bot farms dedicated to sniping these coins, that just run on autopilot, and they just rake in cash, nonstop every single day, 24/7.
Yeah, once you really get deep into stuff like that, that's when you learn a little too much, you know? Once you learn how the sausage gets made, you don't want to have it anymore.
Yeah, no, that's a good way of putting it. Have you ever exhibited your work in like any galleries or digital spaces like that?
No, but I would love to. I've never once pursued it, ever, but I've always wanted to. And there's no reason I've never pursued it. It's just something I haven't done. But I do think it's a bucket list item of mine to have something of mine, something original of mine in a gallery somewhere in the world.
Yeah, because these would certainly fit the vibe, especially for that digital gallery. I mean, I'm sure there's got to be some in your area.
Yeah, I'm sure if I did a little bit digging, reached out to some people, I could see it happening, but for some reason I've never tried.
Yeah, and I was also going to ask about animation, but I do see here that you've worked in this space before. Is that something that that you would also want to do more of in the future, or?
Um, Probably not, because it's animating is the equivalent of bashing your head into a wall over and over again because of how frustrating it is. But it is so satisfying, incredibly satisfying once it does work and is finished. I just don't know if I've got the ability to do that ever again, to like animate a big scene. Because what we're watching right now was incredibly painful to do. It looks simple, but it was brutal.
And why is that?
Um, well, I rendered everything individually, and then I composited them all into Photoshop, and then exported one frame at a time from Photoshop.
Whoa, that's
Yeah, there's a
intense.
breakdown somewhere else on my Twitter that shows kind of the process of it. But I was trying to go for that mid 2000s anime look,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just using Blender and Photoshop. And I think I did a pretty good job, honestly, for being 3D, but it was a tough process.
Oh yeah, man, this looks crisp as hell. Um, everything for it, like the grain, the way that the light moves in the car.
I don't think I could ever do this again. Like, I don't think I could recreate this style again. But I am very happy with how it turned out.
No, it's a great little piece, man. I hear you. It sounds like a painstaking process, like just frame by frame, making sure everything matches. Um, yeah, that would certainly take a while. I mean, the only other animator that I've interviewed on this, I think you mentioned that you saw part of the podcast. No, it wasn't Fiend. I'm trying to remember. He's a cell animator who does everything by hand. Bear with me here
By
for a
hand?
second. Well, like on a pad, like a tablet.
Yeah, but still, like, frame by frame, hand by hand. Oh, it's even, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, he does what's called cell animation. It's like in the old style of
Yeah.
animating. Let me see if I can find his work. Oh, there it is. Hyena. Yes. Yeah, he did like a Pokemon style one recently, actually. Yeah, that's the one.
That makes me jealous when I see stuff like this. It always makes me jealous.
He makes some cool
Like
stuff,
I
man.
like I wish I could draw, you know, because seeing that stuff, like it just seems like it would be so much fun to make something like that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you picked up 3D design. I'm sure you could pick up drawing. I mean, that's I'm not trying to minimize how difficult that would be, but you know,
Oh, I don't know, man. I've tried drawing many times. I don't think that one's not for me. That is a different beast, and every time I see someone who's really talented at drawing, it always blows me away.
it's funny that you say that thing about drawing because when I interviewed Stuzer, who's another 3D animator, he basically said the same thing, and his bio says I can't draw, like he just couldn't get the hang of it when he was a kid, so he decided to go into 3D modeling instead.
Yeah, I can't draw at all. I'll never pick it up, but I will love it every time I see someone talented at doing it.
Yeah, no, it's quite the feat, especially for cell animation. I mean, that's frame by frame, and depending on how fast or slow you want the animation, that'll change the amount of frames that you need. And yeah, I've heard the same from his perspective. It's frustrating as hell, but when it comes out, it's just yeah, it's just beautiful.
Animation is incredibly satisfying, and I do kind of miss it because I don't do it too much anymore, but I do things go so wrong so quick and they don't go the way you want them to and they break because you're doing 3D stuff, so models break down. So you are just like hitting your head against a wall trying to troubleshoot while you're trying to make something. But once you finish it, it's the best feeling in the world.
So is the layman's example basically like when you're trying to import an image into Microsoft Word and it just completely just fucks your whole document? Is that basically it times 1,000?
Yeah, that's a when you're doing any 3D animations with more than a couple assets, especially if you're doing like rigged models, like characters moving and walking and camera movements, things break apart so quick. And I never know why because I'm not an animator. It's something I'm able to kind of do. So when they started breaking down, I'm internally screaming, browsing Reddit, trying to figure out what's wrong.
Is that just because like when the pieces come into contact with each other, like as in the digital world, or what do you think that is?
It's beyond my understanding. It's something to do with weighted bones and normal maps and the rigging and physics and the polygons. Like it's beyond my understanding of 3D. So whenever something does go wrong, I have no idea how to fix it.
Gotcha. No, fair enough. It certainly does sound like a challenging piece. I mean, some of the top tier animation that I've seen in 3D, in the 3D style, when people talk about like their process and how long it took them, it's just like months or like even upwards of a year for just like a minute worth of animation.
It's a grueling process, but it's always impressive when it's done well.
Yeah, that's wicked. So yeah, you've worked in quite a lot of mediums then.
Yeah, I like to explore and try different things for sure.
And in terms of your days designing shirts for bands, how did you come about that?
That just all happened by accident. Is I was just posting my artwork, and just slowly over time, people would message me, "Hey, can you make something for me?" And then after a while, I was able to I would just post a tweet like, "Hey, commissions are open." A couple people would message me, and then just went from there.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. So just basically just kept pumping out, you know, idea after idea, and then eventually the right person saw it.
Yeah, it's exactly. It just happened on its own. I never like wanted or pursued to be a freelance artist, but it ended up just happening, and it was pretty cool when it did.
I see, I see. And you said you also did some album art as well.
Yeah, I've done. I don't even know how many albums at this point, but I've done tons of albums, mixtapes, T-shirts, promo videos, music videos.
Oh wow, I'm surprised you don't have more of that stuff on your timeline here.
I made the very poor decision of not compiling it all properly, and it is somewhere on an old hard drive in my closet right now.
Oh wow, whole treasure trove.
So everything from like pre 2023 maybe is on a hard drive sitting in my closet, like a Windows hard drive, not on an external hard drive.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I made a silly move when upgrading my PC, and I'd have to like reconnect it to a motherboard and boot up Windows and get it all.
Well, there's actually one thing I used when I was switching computers. There's like a mobile unit that you can buy that's just plugs into. I think it just plugs into an outlet because you got to power the hard drive if it's not an SSD, and it's literally just like a USB cable going out of the hard drive into the PC. If that would make it easier, just because yeah, man, that's gold right there. There's so much stuff that I like, especially if you said everything before 2023. Like that's your it's part of your legacy as an artist.
I know, I gotta just pull the trigger one day and recover it all.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what's on there because there's got to be a lot of work that you've put on there.
There is. It was my very first PC that I bought specifically for making artwork. And then, it just started once I got into 3D stuff, it wasn't enough anymore. So I desperately needed to upgrade. And I didn't save anything. I didn't, I just, I took the hard drive out and just sold the parts.
Oh, gotcha.
And wasn't smart enough to save anything over.
What kind of a rig are you working with now?
You know what? I'm gonna have to look because I don't remember. It's nothing crazy. Um, trying to. I know I've got my specs saved somewhere.
Yeah, because I'd imagine for 3D work like this, you would need, maybe not the most powerful machine, but definitely something big enough for it.
Yeah, I'm not on my PC right now, so I'm just trying to see if I have it saved anywhere. I don't think I do. No, but I've got a decent rig. A good solid graphics. I think I have a 380. I've got about 128 gigs of RAM.
Oh man, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean Blender when you're doing really I try to do stuff as detailed as I can because I love having physical details in a 3D model opposed to imitated details through textures. So I use a lot of really intricate, highly detailed 3D models, and like sometimes I feel like my PC is going to set on fire because of the detail in them.
Oh, that sounds about right. Another 3D artist that I interviewed the other day goes by the name of Fiend. Their rig, they got it sponsored by work, by their job, and 128 gigs of RAM, top of line RTX card, Intel i9 processor, like the whole works. And they told me that what used to take them hours now just takes them like not even minutes.
Yeah, the same thing happened when I upgraded. I was, sometimes I'd have to hit my computer to render overnight to finish something out. And now I hit render, go grab a glass of water, and it's done.
Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. I've been trying to see if I can pick up an RTX card, but they're so hard to find. And I mostly just render like just these like videos, um, but still I don't like how it takes up all of my system processes, and my computer is basically in like sleep mode. Like I can't use it. I gotta let it just be.
Oh yeah, I know the pain. I used to do everything on a laptop. You'd render out a video and you just have to walk away. Nothing you could do.
On a laptop, no less. Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. What do you make of AI art these days?
Um, AI artwork is. I'm against it. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think of how to phrase this. I'm against AI artwork in general. Like people posting just some AI generated thing and saying, "Look, I made this." But I think, and I've seen rare applications where I thought, you know what, that was a really good use of it. I really liked it. I think it has very small applications, and it comes out really, really well. But people just posting AI slop of like Elon Musk, you know, as Iron Man. That's weird.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah,
What
for sure.
comes to mind as a music video that had a really good use of AI, and I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, if it's made anything easier, it's the creation of slop.
It's made slop even sloppier.
It's like perfected slop, like algorithm calculated slop.
Yeah, this is every time I think of AI artwork in a positive light, it's this music video. I think this is a good application of AI artwork.
I can't quite see what's generated yet. It looks like well, not even the building. The building looks real.
Yeah, it's very small moments are AI generated, but once they happen, you'll notice them pretty quick. Um, it's just somewhere in his face, like they completely morph out his face, and he like transforms completely, and it's very clearly AI. But I think it's a good application of it because they're using AI to enhance something that they already did, opposed to just making just
Oh, yeah.
internet slop.
Yeah, I see it there.
Like that's a use of AI that I think is solid.
Yeah, it reminds me of like some of the first few generated models where like it would just hallucinate all these different things.
Yeah, where it was just nonsense when AI didn't know how to do anything past a single frame. You'd give it a prompt and it would just generate everything.
Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty cool. It reminds me of I think his name is Noper. Yeah, I don't know what model he uses for his work, but it's kind of in a similar style where everything just kind of flows in and out of each other. And it's just like very grainy, very filmy.
Yeah, I mean that's cool stuff. I do like I can to an extent appreciate some AI artwork when people use AI to create something, but when people use AI to make a picture of a funny cat and it gets 2 million likes, you know, that's where I feel weird about it.
Yeah, or like what's it called that big trend for a second there, Bigfoot in the forest, like lifting weights or doing tren.
Yeah, that was crazy. And very scary how well done it looked.
Oh yeah, like the fingers were getting rendered properly, all the facial movements, just about everything was like perfect. Let me see if I can find it.
We are getting very close to hitting a point where you won't be able to fully know what's real anymore online.
Oh, we're already at that point. I mean, like I've seen plenty of videos of like boomers getting caught by this stuff, just getting absolutely mentally zapped by it.
Yeah, I know it definitely tricks a lot of people, but I think I'm still able to see a video and tell if it's AI. And I think a lot of people younger can, but we're going to hit a point where you're really not going to know ever again.
Yeah, probably within probably not even within a year. In a couple of months, I'd imagine.
Yeah, by the end of the year, everything's going to be up for debate.
How do you think that's going to impact news for you? Because I remember even like a couple of years ago, um, there was I think it was a Putin deepfake AI demonstration where they took like world leaders, and no, because this is just capturing the news story. There was a test reel that somebody made of this AI model. It's super old. I probably won't find it now with all the slop online, like him holding. Jesus Christ.
Just the worst of the worst.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a model that was showing the deepfake capabilities, and even a couple of years ago it was like really good. I'd imagine that's somewhat of a concern for someone in your position.
Yeah, it is a genuine concern. And it's never come up yet, but I think we'll have to reach a point where anytime you see a video of a political leader, you're going to need multiple eyewitnesses on the ground who can confirm that that's a real thing that happened. Otherwise, you're going to have no idea.
Is there any work being done to kind of shore up the defenses on it? Like any programs, any software, any like even like meetings that are set up by management? Like, is there anything that's happening in the industry to help combat that?
Um, Maybe that I'm unaware of, but I know it's always on the back of people's mind, and it's something everyone looks out for. Because there's been times where I'll come across something, and even if it kind of almost feels like AI, we have to, there's a whole process of like trying to verify if it's real, trying to make sure everything's legit. So I don't think we're catching up fast enough with AI, but we're gonna hit a point where we're gonna have to be able to verify everything through witnesses, opposed to a cell phone video being the witness.
Yeah, because the one of the things that one of the events that happened not too long ago that really put it in the forefront for me was the fake Halloween parade in Scotland. Did you hear about this?
No, what?
Okay, so basically there was this account that this guy had that essentially deep crawled the web for breaking news stories and all that, and he had this like AI generated newscast that would essentially put out a story every like I don't know 15-20 minutes, something like that. And I don't know if it hallucinated the story, but it somehow like came up with this event that, oh, there's going to be a big Halloween parade, we're expecting thousands of people to show up and come by for like free candy or whatever somewhere in Scotland, or sorry, Dublin. That's Ireland. Um, and I guess some influencers caught on to it because everyone's cloud chasing, trying to get their name in the algorithm and be the first to cover a story or cover something. And eventually, it reached a peak where enough influencers had posted about it and enough people had heard about it that they thought it was a real event. And then you had thousands of people show up to this one street, and like nothing ever came, nothing ever, like there was no parade. It was all fake.
Damn, that's kind of scary. That's actually kind of terrifying.
Yeah, thousands of Dubliners showed up to the city's much anticipated Halloween parade on Thursday evening. They lined the streets waiting for the promised 3-hour parade that would transform Dublin into a lively tapestry of costumes, artistic performances, and cultural festivities.
That's crazy. Someone tricked a whole city.
And nothing.
Wow, that's terrifying. Honestly, I'm surprised this doesn't happen more.
Yeah, it's nothing short of wild that that this many people would show up to this. Um, I don't know. Words kind of fail me here because it's like, well, who was even setting it up? Did anyone even look into like what the org was, or if there was even a website? Because I don't even think there was anything set up like that. It's one thing like the You heard about the Willy Wonka one?
No.
Oh, you didn't hear? Oh, Ben, I'm so glad because I get to introduce you to this. This is
Uh-oh.
around the time of the movie, with Chalamet, what's his face, when he was the lead actor.
Yeah.
And there was this, I don't know, some kind of event organizer or something that put on this event where they said, "Oh, come by. We, have this space in this warehouse. We invite the kids, face paint, give out candy, and we're gonna have like actors and all this." And they used AI art to advertise it. Are they really not gonna show it? because some of the AI art was like early gen. You could tell that it was AI.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they had set up like all these posters and all this stuff, and yeah, what ended up being a very very sad experience. And there was this meme of they paid one girl to be there at like the snack stand. Let me see if we can find a photo of her. She just looks so sad standing there. There it is.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, she looks dead inside.
Yeah, because she was just like I don't know, a student or something, just working freelance, and just like, oh, you guys pay $100 or whatever to show up for the day. Yeah, I'll gladly do it. And she had like little to no communication from the people. Just got paid, showed up. And then everyone started hounding her for questions, and she's like, "Look, I don't even know what's going on. I just got paid to be here. I have no clue." Um,
That's
and
so tragic, man.
yeah, she went on social media and like talked about it afterwards, and she's like, "Yeah, it was not at all what I was promised. Like all of this was a lie." And all these kids came expecting this like candy wonderland. There's like photos of parents shuffling around. It's just so dead.
That's so sad. But I guess before this, you never really had a reason to question an event like that. Like if I see a flyer in my city for an event, I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna assume it's real. And maybe you have to change that thought process.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is just this. I just set up a bouncy castle.
That's rough, man. Holy
Uh,
shit.
yeah.
That's in Scotland too? Oh, the other one
Th-
was in Dublin, sorry.
this one was in no, this one was in Scotland. Yeah, and it's interesting. Like, why that part of the world?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I have no clue. Like, I don't know anything about the background of the organizer or what was the purpose of it. Why they did it. I don't even know how much they even charge people. Oh,
Hopefully
35
nothing.
pounds. 35 pounds.
Yikes. Yikes.
What is that in Maple bucks? $65. Oh,
Holy shit.
Jesus.
$65 to get scammed and waste your day.
Yeah, kind of worth it for that photo though. Just that one photo of her.
That is a good photo. I feel so bad for her.
Oh man. Yeah, no, like you, I'm also surprised that it doesn't happen as often. I mean, like there's little ways it does happen in terms of like people getting caught by headlines or and whatnot, but big events like that, yeah, we're probably going to see a lot more of that in the coming future. Because I mean, what can you do to stop it? If you just set up an event on like a Facebook group or Eventbrite, I mean, how much different is it than like someone just like doing it manually? Now you can just like use AI to, I guess, like enhance it or show some previews of it.
Yeah, absolutely nothing stopping it. It's kind of scary. A little funny, very scary.
Yeah, especially that parade one with that many people on the street. I mean, if anything happened, like if a car just backfired too loudly, like you just have a stampede. I mean, there's that one incident that happened the other day where like people were coming out of I think it was a baseball game or something, and this little girl had like a bee flow around her, and she shrieked, and the crowd just ran. It was just a sea of people, and like 30 seconds later, people would realize like there was nothing, but for a
Yeah,
moment
I
there,
saw that.
it was just pure panic.
Everyone freaking out. And that caused a huge stampede.
Yeah, that's why I avoid crowds in the city, man. I can't trust like that.
No, yeah, I don't know the last time I went to a big event like that. Not for me.
No, I am interested to see what it does to the art world though, because right now we have quite a few artists in the space that are just making content and like people that are actually like making cool stuff. One that stands out to me, you might have seen his stuff around. It's Mac Back and I. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, like one of these.
Oh,
I think that's pretty cool.
it is.
Yeah, it's fairly detailed too. Yeah, he does a lot of these like office landscapes. I mean, lots of other like fantasy stuff too. But that's that's pretty damn good.
It is. I can see a lot of arguments against it, and I can see a lot of arguments for it. I don't know where I fully lie.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with like the big studios, just how heavily they lean into this. Because I'd imagine they certainly would, especially for like celebrities like Bruce Willis. Like he sold off his I think it was the first actor to sell off his like visual rights, or I don't even know what the right word is, but the rights
Yeah,
to like
yeah.
use him.
He's gonna pop up in a movie for sure.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be a Fortnite skin before you know it. Yeah, this stuff is it's outlandish. I never even imagined in a million years that I'd like grow up in the age where for $20 a month you can just make stuff like this.
Yeah, no, I never saw this coming. I don't think anyone did. Not to this degree, so quickly.
No, it's crazy. But yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I don't really know what to make of it. Whether like I don't know, maybe asking the questions whether it's right or wrong or not even the right questions to ask. But there's a part of me that like similar to NFTs. It just I don't know, feels kind of cheap.
It does cheapen certain art forms.
On the bright side, like there's still plenty of artists, you know, doing their thing. I don't think that'll ever go away, and I can't help but disagree with people when they say like, "Oh, AI is gonna kill this, AI is gonna kill that." Like automation is gonna kill some jobs for sure, but
It'll never replace art. It
No.
could never do it.
no, the amount of intention that's involved in the thought process and how like the brain processes inspiration, we're light years away from that.
Yeah, and even if AI slop takes over the internet, people are still gonna pick up a paintbrush, paint something, and show their friends. Like that'll never stop.
Oh no, definitely not. So what's next on the horizon for you in terms of working in this space?
Honestly, right now I have zero plans or ideas. I'm kind of at the point where I just once I get the inspiration, I'll pop down and make something and then not look at Twitter or Instagram until I make something again.
Fair enough.
I've got like nothing planned, nothing going on. I just almost completely stepped away from social media once I realized it was doing me more harm than good.
Yeah, I'd imagine it could wear on you over time, being connected 24/7 and having to rely on that as your livelihood.
Yeah, like I had I just constantly on social media I was always looking for engagement, interactions, notifications. I felt like my stuff wasn't good enough or saw people doing better than me and getting jealous. And then once I hit that point, I knew I needed to just completely step away and just make stuff for the sake of making it, you know?
Oh, so you felt like you were getting too emotionally invested in it.
Yeah, because there was definitely a while where I was like making stuff for the sake of knowing it would do well and gain me more followers. And I wasn't making it because I wanted to. I just knew other people would like it.
I see. And do you think there's a healthy balance that you can reach between like doing that and making a living and still being able to like, stay sane?
Stay sane. I don't know. I didn't find that balance, but I know there's other people that have been doing this longer than me and will continue to do it. And if it works for them, it works for them. But I cannot be attached to social media like that. Not anymore. It's a blessing and a curse, social media.
Yeah, I mean it's a fairly easy trap to fall into. I mean, like you have people right now working in basements, people that you'll never know, with their sole purpose of enhancing shareholder value to make the most addicting platforms that hijack very specific areas of your brain and parts of human behavior. And it's free.
Yeah, I still don't know if I think it's at one point it might have been the best thing to ever be made, but I think at the point we hit now, it is. I don't think it's. I think it does more harm than good on a global scale.
Yeah, because before that, I mean, we had what? We had internet forums, games, clubs, like what's like Club Penguin or Habba Hotel or what have you. Um, I know that's kind of died down. There's not really as many unique online spaces for it. I mean, obviously, like multiplayer gaming has exploded, and there's plenty of communities there. But in terms of like a new digital space where people can meet, that isn't Omegle and just filled with dicks, um, there's not really all that many places where people can go to not have their brains hijacked.
Yeah, I feel like the internet was near its peak when before real money and corporations got involved. I feel like there was a very noticeable shift in the entire internet when corporations started getting involved and just squeezing everything.
Yeah, but there are people that are working to kind of change it in a way. They call it Web3, and the whole idea, or one of the ideas behind it, anyways, is to make it so that you own your data and that it becomes much harder to scrape it for information, and trying to build profiles that extend across like multiple platforms. Like that's why all those websites and apps, they ask you like, oh, sign in with Facebook, sign in here, because then Facebook gets a chunk of the data, and Google or what have you. But from my understanding, this new platform would make that much more difficult to do, and it would also be partially built on crypto.
I think that's a great idea. I think it's too little too late at this point for the average person, anyways. Like Google, Facebook, Twitter, they already know everything about me. I think it's too late for me to make the switch.
What do you mean by too late?
Like, there's server farms with racks just full of all my data sitting there, So if I make the switch now, I feel like they've already got everything on me already. Like they already have my algorithms dialed down perfectly and they know me better than I know me. If I switch now, I don't know what it would do for me. But maybe I don't know enough about this subject.
Oh no, fair enough. No, because I think it's just it's a space where people are going to be allowed to create in a way that create platforms like apps or ideas or what have you in a way that doesn't have the corporate incentive to just send scrapers and create all these cookies and everything to track your data. So I think it's only a matter of time before, maybe not something as big as Twitter comes around, but still like a sizable community for, I don't know, let's say artists to post their stuff, and something that's actually, I don't know, like forming some kind of consensus around the kind of stuff that people not only want to see but engage with. Um, kind of like how Tumblr was before Yahoo bought them. I think it was Yahoo that bought them.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was a notable shift there once Yahoo bought them.
Yeah, and I think as it gets easier and easier to develop these things through I think it's only a matter of time before enough people get frustrated that they're like, okay, you know what, man, like I get it, I gotta stay plugged into the news, but this stuff is just like you're just hammering me with Italian brain rot, or like just videos with like maxed out volume, or like people like doing pranks in the hood, or name your slop that someone's gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna take it upon myself to actually make something.
Yeah, I think we'll get there one day, but right now it feels bleak, especially on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram Reels.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. I have to be very careful about how I curate my feed. Like when I started working for Outsider Supply, it took me a minute to scrub like all the keywords and make sure that I wasn't getting any like politics or global news because I just want to see art. That's all I want to see. And now thankfully my feed is just art, no like pop culture news, nothing like that. But like that takes like an active effort, and a lot of people they just had these accounts, left over from like 2008, 2010, what have you, and then they just jump back on and let the algo do it for them.
I agree. To get when my Twitter when Twitter became X, my algorithm was, completely shit on, and it took me a very long time to dial it back into what I actually wanted to see, because it was just promoting and sending just horrible slop content that I did not care about, no matter what I did.
Yeah, and there's not even like an app that you can download right now that is like an interface on top of your algo so that it makes it easy. You have to use the tools that are within the app, and they're not all that intuitive. Like they make it difficult to get this stuff off your feed and like get other topics on. Like it actually takes like an active concerted effort in how you consume social media to control it like that.
Yeah, because right now the best you can do is right click not interested on something and just kind of pray that it sticks.
Yeah, like banned words. For YouTube, I had to completely delete my watch history because I couldn't handle the recommendations, and now I just only have what I subscribe to, and it's kind of made it harder. But I prefer it that way because then at least like I choose what I see.
That is smart.
And there was actually one platform you probably haven't heard of them called Token that essentially came up with that same idea of wanting to create a more curated version of YouTube where every day you get these 3 tokens that you can give out to videos. I don't know why the images aren't loading. I guess they're doing some work on the site. But you would essentially be incentivized to put up the most interesting type of videos because you want the most tokens and be featured as like the top video of the day. And so it quickly became less of like the Mr. Beast kind of slop and more like interesting videos about, I don't know, somebody doing a time lapse of working on some piece of leather, or an artist drawing something, or a tutorial on how to deal with your finances, or what have you. Just all these interesting videos about history and culture and art and all that. And it created this like tight knit community of people that are like, all right, we're done with YouTube slop. Let's make something different.
That kind of stuff does give me hope that the internet overlords might not be in control forever.
No, no, certainly not. I have faith in that regard because I think that, I mean, of all the artists that I've spoken with, usually what it comes down to sometimes is like the most effective driving force is whatever is giving you the most frustration, and having to deal with it and come up with something new, a new way to get around an issue or an obstacle, where you create something really, really, really cool. And I think there's enough frustration in the world on social media to make more stuff like this.
I agree with that completely. My favorite part of making something, especially something different, is the huge puzzle of it all, is figuring out how can I do that with my current skill set and knowledge base. And it's just a huge game of figuring it out. And I think that's my favorite part. Never even thought of that.
Yeah, it's interesting how that works, right? Like that you would think that it's like some kind of a drive that comes from within, but no, it's usually actually it's the opposite. It's an obstacle. It's like an issue that you encounter, and you're like, man, how do I fix this? There's got to be a way to make this work. There has to be an easier way to do this.
It's a great way to put it. Yeah, it is a big puzzle sometimes, and figuring it all out can be really rewarding.
Yeah, especially for 3D modeling, I'd imagine. Like you said, with the amount of stuff that you're dealing with, whether it's textures or how things are bolted into one another. Um, like even this like short little piece, like you said, 19 seconds, but like that took you a minute.
That did take me a couple days of extreme frustration. but it was just a big puzzle, and it was me just breaking things down piece by piece. Like I have the idea and the image in my head, and it was just figuring out how do I make that real.
Yeah, and it came out into something beautiful. It perfectly matches
It
the
did.
vibe, as you said, like in the early 2000s anime. Like it's perfect. Right on. Yeah, no, you've got quite the library of work, man. I really would love to see you get more exposure in terms of like all the different mediums, whether it's like all these buildables or even like a card game. Like this would be a perfect aesthetic for it, even especially like the latest stuff that you have here.
Yeah, it would be cool. I have always wanted to convert my artwork into a physical form that's not just a t-shirt or a hoodie, you know?
And
It'd be cool to have it physically.
and you guys must have like the anime conventions out west, I'd imagine. Like I figure it's not just like a big city thing.
Oh, you know, there was an anime convention 2 weeks ago here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, because those are perfect. There's always like vendors at them just selling their trinkets and whatnot.
That's true. Maybe it'd be worth talking to them and see their process, how they get their stuff made. It's a good idea.
Yeah, there was one that I interviewed recently who was based in, I think it's Malaysia. This girl that goes to these cons and actually makes quite a decent amount of money doing these physical, not just prints, but yeah, she makes like keychains as well.
Those are cool.
Not bad. Yeah, she told me that it's a lot of prep and it's a lot of work like to get it right, but once you do and you can actually like get enough people interested in the product, like you can make a decent amount of cash just to make sure that you can keep doing it.
Yeah. I just don't know if I've got the mental capacity for that anymore. I did the grind for so long, you know?
Yeah, I'd imagine it's a lot. Like you got to maintain the social presence across like multiple platforms. Make sure you're answering DMs, emails. Like no commissions go unanswered, even if it's a no.
I think maybe one day I will return back to being like probably being like a full-time artist. But I think I really burnt myself out and I don't want to go back. So I'm just now, you know, but I think that's better for me because now I'm just making stuff when I want, opposed to because I haven't tweeted in 3 days, I have to make something.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Speaking of which, have you ever had any crazy commissions you had to turn down? Like the ideas were just too outlandish. You're like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable doing that stuff.
Nothing that comes to the top of my head, but I've definitely had people be unreasonable with their requests. Like, you can see the stuff that I'm good at. I can't make a 3D model of you as a robot, you know, in some weird cyberpunk city. Like, that's just not my skill set. So people have asked me stuff beyond my capabilities, but nothing like crazy outlandish.
Fair enough. Yeah, because like the only meme that I've heard about, or one of the more like famous memes that I've heard about like commission work, is that when it comes to like furry artists, they just get the most deranged, absolutely insane asks sometimes, but the people always have thousands of dollars they're willing to put into it, so they just put up with it. They're like, screw it.
Oh yeah, those people make bank. They make so much money.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Doesn't really surprise me though, because I figure there's enough gooners on the internet for there to be a market for it.
Yeah, there is. Like, there's enough rich freaks out there that'll pay $3,000 for a cat drawing of themselves, you know?
Yeah, I wonder how big that market actually is, because I mean, if it's gotten to the point where it's a meme, like that's like a culturally accepted fact. Like they got to be making bank.
Yeah, I'm not involved in any of that, like like that area whatsoever. But even I've known for a very long time that free artists make so much money.
People just love animals, I guess.
I know you look at me.
They do.
That's one way to put it. Yeah, that's wicked. Well, listen, is there anything else that you wanted to discuss or shout out, or any like new works that you're working on you wanted to talk about, or?
You know, I wish I did, but again, I'm just kind of just floating around making stuff. So I have no real major plans at the moment. I wish I did, but you know, for the time being, I'm just gonna make stuff as I feel, post it when I want to. I got nothing in the works, but this conversation made me think maybe I should start getting more back into it, plan for the future, have set myself some goals again. You know?
Yeah, absolutely, man. You got quite the library, and hell, you don't need me to tell you that. You've already done the social media game. You know how it works. But no, it would be really cool to see these little creations that you have as actual like physical objects, whether it's like prints or what have you. Um, they have a very unique style to them, and there's definitely an audience for that kind of stuff. And yeah, it would just be cool to like be able to push your boundaries and try to actually make that card set or 3D printable or what have you like that. Yeah, that'd be really cool to see.
Yeah, I think you know what. Maybe I've gotten a little too comfortable. Maybe it is time I try something new, push it a little further. It's a good idea.
Hey, at the least you got to get that hard drive out, man. I'm looking forward to the day that that you're able to plug that in, because there's a whole treasure trove there.
I know it's just sitting in my closet. It's just a Windows C drive full of everything.
Yeah, no, that's a gold mine waiting to be released at this point. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. I thank you for your time. Really appreciate you making the effort, especially after day's work.
Yeah, of course.
And so, in terms of socials, you're just mostly on like Twitter now, or you also on Instagram, or?
Instagram as the exact same username. Uh, Again, I don't post there very much. Much less active on Instagram. But yeah, those are my only social medias: Twitter and Instagram, exact same handle.
Gotcha. Yeah, check them out at Dead Tunnel Rat, all one word. And yeah, man, thank you again. I really look forward to seeing what you come up with in the future, and certainly love to have you on the show sometime in the future if you got new drop. Like if you ever actually manage to get around to these physical objects, it would be great to have you on again.
Yeah, of course, and I really appreciate you having me.
Right on. Well, you guys take care, and we'll see you later.
All right, see ya.